Welcome back to Arozzi Northern League of Legends Championship. It's finally time, 2025, and we get to hit on Winter Split. My name is Alexander Arsharamaya. I will be your host, but I'm not alone. We need more people to start this show because I know a lot of people are watching, new viewers as well, and I'll welcome everyone. So let's introduce the desk for today. We have Solari and Foxtrot. Welcome to the show. How are you doing?
Yeah, it's been a while, mate. It's been a while since we've been here. I'm excited to be back again. We had a lot of good times last year in NLC, and I'm not gonna lie, I have a sneaky suspicion, just a hunch, really, that this split for NLC is gonna be even sexier. So yeah, I'm ready for it. I can't wait to see what we're gonna be cooking up here.
I hope so much that you're right, Foxtrot, because I'm all in for it. I'm a relatively new face here, so hi, but still happy to be here because, oh my god, looking into what NLC has in store for this split, I am so damn excited.
And I just gotta say this, as you know, we have Arozzi with us, those beautiful chairs. Solari already has a chair, and apparently it brings a sword. I don't know, I'm still waiting for mine. I hope it brings like a spear and a shield. But I don't know if that's how you ask for those. As we move on, we need to talk about the castles because, yeah, you have a desk, but also who's going to be screaming inside of the Rift. Also, new Rift, by the way, if you didn't see Arcane, I don't know what you're doing with your life. Tell me, who's casting today? I know that's a loud individual, but there's Trouble Week. She's back. I'm so happy.
She's back. I'm so happy. I'm so happy to have Trouble back. It's been like 2 years. It's been like 2 years since we casted together. I missed you so much, Georgia. Also...
Oh, stop. Don't do this, guys. I'm so happy to be here working with you again.
Lovely little bit of niceties paid to Trouble. Now a bit of Archer bullying time. Archer, this is actually not a negative bully. You finally got rid of the Tumu webcam. You're looking good. You're looking sharp, brother.
Yes. But I had some issues with the webcam on rehearsal, by the way. So the webcam was not working. I got terrified by using that 420 pixel webcam, but hey, we're finally in full HD. You can see that I'm still wearing this weird piece of equipment.
So
I'm waiting for my chair.
You couldn't tell if there were 2 buttons open or 3, but now you can very clearly tell how many buttons are open. That's great.
You can see every hair on that. You can see every hair on that chest, man. Look at him, like a gorilla.
I'm Portuguese. Welcome to the show. I can't wait to hear you inside of the Rift. Best of luck, because there's a lot of new eyes, a lot of new teams, a lot of new players, and mega players. We have the Messi of League on NLC, so I'm just saying that. Keep that in mind.
It's gonna be a good season.
You're ready. And... Woo! Let's jump into desk. I'll see you soon. I love some bullying. I
mean, there are worse ways to get bullied, mate. You are just glazed, and James like a little bit of bullying. Come on, bro. What's that about?
Yeah.
You got to settle your bullying game, man. Also,
we have Duckling tomorrow. Don't worry, we'll step it up. But also, you've seen the chair that Solari is sitting. You've seen the chair that Trouble Inc. is sitting. This is not even the chair. I couldn't count this as a chair. My chair doesn't even function properly. I'm still waiting for mine. So, do you want the chair back at home? I swear you do. I know you do. You're just sitting on those weird garden chairs, I know, plastic, so you can be part of the group of the cool kids by winning an Arozzi chair. And how do you do that? This is quite simple. Go on to NLC on X on Twitter, then on to Arozzi Chairs on Instagram, retweet the post. And if you think, oh, I have a lot of time to do that, no! We're gonna give away one of these chairs by the end of January. Just saying, look at that beautiful thing. I'm actually kind of jealous. But yeah, you can win one of these. I'm actually retweeting right now. There you go. I should hope for mine soon. And how do you feel about this? Hey, Fox.
Yeah,
here's your chair.
It's a beautiful chair, mate. It's great for gaming. You a little bit of dissing to the plastic garden chairs. I will say, if you want to cry in the shower, but you want to sit down doing it, the plastic chair's better for that. I'm just gonna say it, right? Just pointing that out there. The Arozzi chair isn't quite as good for that, but for other things at your desk, I'd say it's quite premium.
I learned something today.
Didn't we all?
Yeah. Do you want to learn something new as well? And I'm just saying this because NLC has a new entire format. And a lot of people are wondering, how does it work? Huh? They're doing that weird face with the cat, like, huh? And I know one of those individuals is Cadril, because today, during his morning stream, he was confused about how NLC format works. So with that in mind, let's see the video by Medic himself.
Hello everyone. 2025 is fast approaching, and along with it, big and exciting changes to the NLC ecosystem. Sharpen your ears, get comfortable, and let's dive right into the changes that are coming to the NLC Division 1 and below. Starting at the top of the ecosystem with NLC Division 1. In 2025, we are waving farewell to the old NLC format and are replacing it with a new, dynamic, and more exciting league format. First things first, the league moves to a 3-split format like the rest of the ERL system, bringing more action across the year. Now to the actual format changes, isolated to the NLC. With teams competing in the ecosystem with many different countries, it's time to see more of them compete at the top. To achieve that, the number of teams will increase from 8 to 10, just like you once knew it. For each split, the teams will compete in a 7-week format consisting of 2 stages, a seeding stage and a playoff stage. The seeding stage will consist of a single round robin with teams divided into 2 groups based on the standings of the last split. From the seeding stage, the teams will be placed into one big double elimination bracket, which will be played out from week 2 to 7. This is where all teams get their chance to show what they've got in a best-of format. Say goodbye to best-of-1 matches and say hello to the potential of historic runs. Moving on to the changes to the layers below our top division. Let's take the biggest change first. NLC Division 2 will be removed completely. While this might seem like a drastic change, it's all with the intention of improving the system as a whole and making the national leagues more impactful like back in the day. It's time to bring national rivalries to the forefront of the ecosystem, and this is a big leap towards that. With this change, you can look forward to seeing the national leagues flourish even more as they get closer to the upper level of the ecosystem. With the removal of Division 2, the NLC RPS will in 2025 transition to an annual promotion tournament between NLC Division 1 and the national leagues, where the teams competing in a national league will accumulate championship points across the 3 splits to qualify to the NLC RPS. And that's not all. Let's look at the long-term plans moving forward, because the 2025 changes won't be all you'll see coming to the NLC. From 2026 and forward, the league will take a structural shift, which is set to enhance the importance of the national leagues and boost competition across the board. As these are big changes for everyone involved, 2025 will be a transitional year to get everything set in place. Starting in 2026, the NLC teams will join their respective national leagues and play on a national level alongside their participation in NLC Division 1. This change is meant to further bridge the gap between NLC and the national leagues. Each national league will have slots that lead into the top division. Teams can change on a yearly basis, with the NLC being played alongside the national leagues throughout the year. National league teams will accumulate championship points throughout the year, and at the end of the year, the teams with the most points from each national league will have a chance to promote to the NLC the following year. To boost the new system, we're introducing NLC Roadshows, which will take the competition to live venues across the NLC countries. Expect awesome live events that bring the action closer to you than it's ever been before. That's it. The NLC plans are set in stone to bring you competitive action like never before. Keep an eye on the NLC social media channels for more updates on the new format. Are you ready?
This is so simple. This is like 4 days of setting up playoffs non-stop. So whoever wins moves on, whoever loses goes on to lower. If you lose again, you're gone. It's quite simple. And the best part of it is we have road shows. And that means we'll have like offline events where players will be playing. This was our excuse to make sure that Kasing leaves his house. So yeah, there you go. With this in mind, any doubts that you have or anything you'd like to chip in, Desk?
If we go somewhere and I get to shake Reckless hand, I will never wash that hand again. That's all I can say.
All right, you guys are unhinged. I'm just looking forward to seeing some quality League of Legends. Look, listen, I just have to say, you guys messed up when I'm the voice of reason on the desk. Can I just say that? Like, I know you guys have stooped to a new low, so think about what you've done. All right, think about what you've done. I'm so keen to see how NLC progresses, though. Like you say, we've got like two days of figuring out playoffs, and then it's all hype, it's all action. We ain't mentioned it yet. Loads of playoffs means loads of fearless, right?
Yes.
We saw fearless last year. We're seeing it again this year,
thing.
and it's fun as hell. I think it's a fantastic addition to draft. I love it in League.
Yeah. Honestly, Fearless is the best thing here, you know, because we're getting like the full Fearless for all of the best of 3s and best of 5s, and it's only 2 weeks without the Fearless, so we're jumping into the funnest of the action very soon.
The best part of this Fearless, it's the hardcore Fearless, where if someone picks it, you're no longer allowed to use it, and that's really complicated for the players. I know, I apologize. Some people actually have to have a champion pool, and that is going to be quite complicated. But also, you know how this is going to work, but who's going to be playing? Let's show you how the play days will behave. We split 10 teams into 5 teams on 2 groups, and we'll have 4 play days. On play day 1 and play day 3, Group A is going to play. On play day 2 and play day 4, Group B is going to play. That's how we're going to decide and see how teams will interact as we move on into playoffs. And with that in mind, you want to know how the teams actually look like. Well, it's not Medic, but it's Foxtrot, that gentleman, the voice of reason, by the way, who's going to be talking to you about that. He says that I can't think. Well, I'm a top laner, so that's his suit. Let's show the video.
The NLC is back and primed for its most exciting split ever. Probably familiar with some of the big names coming through to the league. Los Ratones, spearheaded by Kadril. You've got the GOAT of bot lane role swap to support some of the most skilled LEC players that we've had the pleasure of watching, some fresh blood, and of course, that Psycho in the top lane. The Ruddy Sack with 2 Western GOATs in their roles and huge personalities throughout the rest of their roster. And let's not forget about NORD, 4 ex-LEC players, years of LEC experience, and the German GOAT in the mid lane. But you need more than 3 teams to fill out a league. So who are these other teams, and who are some players that we should be looking out for? Let's start with Bulldog, new to the NLC this split, and a name that you will definitely recognize. Kusing, a complete legend of the UK league scene, over a decade of Pro League of Legends experience, multiple LEC stints. The last time that Kusing was here in the NLC, he was part of the Lions Creed super team that won it all, so he knows a thing or two about bringing home the bacon in the NLC. For DMG, a staple team here in the NLC, we want to take a look at their 2 returning players, the top and jungler Bucci and Bitzer. For the 19-year-old Swedish prodigy in the top, the Bucci gang, this will mark his 2nd year playing competitive league. He's always been a bright spot on some otherwise middling teams here in the NLC. He's able to play weak side and carry from top, and he has some banging interviews, so I think you guys are going to like him. Bitzer, on the other hand, is just the consummate facilitator from the jungle. Exceptionally scary when he can play something with a bit of agency. The Jarvans and the Vise. Chaos are another new team here in the NLC who got in through the last chance qualifiers. For a lot of these guys, it's their first time playing on a tier 1 stage, and we've got to be taking a look at the mid lane. Zui, very talented mid laner, got a very wide champion pool as well. Keep an eye on his Casio. You might also recognize their top laner, Turtle. He played in the NNO Cup on Agurin's team in June. Turtle likes to play those carry style tops, so between their 2 solo laners, Chaos could be scary. Verdant is a very proud org that's been part of the NLC system since 2021. When they've been here at the top flight, they always finish highly. They got a completely new roster this time around. A lot of focus, I think, will be on the mid lane with Ronaldo. This man certainly knows his way around a regional league. He's been a part of both Fnatic and Misfits Academy systems back in the day. A lot of experience and a lot of pedigree coming from there. I also have to shout out No Name, their jungler, because he's a British jungler. Might be a little bit biased from me on that though. Luncris Lightside is another team that returns to the NLC. Keep your eyes on that bot lane, Rusty Sniper. This man will absolutely carry his games, and in times where his teams aren't playing very well, he's still very reliable, very stable down in that bot lane, and he has a Draven pocket pick too, so you always have to respect that. For the Rich Gang, another new team here in the NLC, you've got to keep your eyes in that top lane, Banderas. Banderas is an NLC champion. He was part of that Lions Creed super team that won it all this time last year. He's a fantastic carry style top laner. He is especially good on split pushes, and he also has a very mean Cassante. But also, to be fair, Cassante is just a load of horseshit. And for the last but definitely not least team to introduce to you today, Venom Crest, our reigning NLC champions. Venom Crest has gone for a complete roster overhaul this split, which is something they're not unfamiliar with. They did it when they first joined the NLC, and to be honest, they've not done too bad for themselves. I mean, they kind of won it all. I'm keeping my eyes on Lofty in that mid lane. He's been popping off in the Swedish regional league, helping his team finish first in both the regular season and the playoffs. Very, very proficient on these kind of control style mid laners, but also has a very, very nasty pocket Talia. Keep your eyes peeled for that. The NLC starts on the 15th of January, twitch.tv/NLC LOL, 6 p.m. CET. Be there.
Foxdrop, and we'll be talking about it as we move. And apparently, I'm frozen, I think.
Yay!
Yeah.
Well, at least you look good, okay? You look very serious.
Yeah.
Horrible. Continue as we're going to be talking about schedule for today. And I'll try to fix this as fast as possible. But let's understand what games are we going to be watching today. There you go. Talk about them if possible.
Yeah, it's Group A today, right? So we've got NORD versus Los Ratones, our first game of the day. I think that's the one we've got to be pretty hyped about, right? Like both these rosters coming in here, pretty sexy stuff. 5 games down as well. Each of these teams will be playing twice. So if you play a first game and you mess it up, it's okay. You got another chance for redemption.
But what if you mess a second time, though? That's where it's going to get a bit complicated, right?
Yeah. You're a bit dunzo. You're a bit dunzo there if you fluff up both your games. But
I mean,
that's
you're
kind
not
of how
fully
it
done,
works.
right? Though you're just going to the losers bracket. It's like not a big deal yet.
It's not the
Everybody's
worst.
getting to the playoffs. That's all that matters.
Oh, I love it. So you know what games are we going to watch today, but also what do you predict? Because all the teams or all the casters have to predict on who they think is going to win on that specific day. Okay, it's kind of, well, there's a mix in the end, in the middle as well, but there's a lot of people believing in Los Ratones. Oh, Foxdrop, you had to do it. I love it. Explain.
That's it, mate. You got to throw a little bit of spice into the predictions there. I mean, this could easily happen, man. Los Ratones, yeah, they're great, but no, they're no slouches either, dude.
I believe anything you want to say, Solari, because we kind of the same.
I am a little bit upset about my second prediction actually for the second game of the day because I thought I predicted Bulldog. I felt like they have one Polish guy in the team, so I feel like I'm contractually obligated to only predict Bulldog in all of their games, but I messed up.
Well, it is what it is. It's not going to change. So if you lose, well, we'll flame you for that. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. I know, Jake.
That's how it works.
Don't bully me. Don't bully more with this webcam. I'm so sorry. So let's talk about Group A. We have 5 teams. We have Bulldog Esports, Lightside, we have Verdant, and we have NORD and Los Ratones. I'm going to ask you like briefly to talk to me about Bulldog, Lightside, and Verdant, and then we'll leave Los Ratones and NORD towards the end. Go. It's a fast one. Solari.
I will start with the Bulldog, okay? Because I really like this team. Not just because they have one Polish player, they also have Kazink, their support, who is the most experienced player on this roster, has been through numerous competitions, and it feels like he's the one who's going to help the rest of the team grow. But I really wanted to look at the top laner, because Mierek is an exceptional case. He started playing professionally at 17 years old only, has been through Ultraliga, has helped a team qualify into Division 1 in Ultraliga, and then he left to compete in NLC right now. And honestly, this is a guy who can grow so much throughout this split. You gotta watch out for him.
Obviously, that photo from Kasing is from 10 years ago. We move on to the next one. Lightside, Foxdrop, tell me.
Yeah, I mean, Lightside, they'll be seen as underdogs here in Group A, but you really have to respect these guys. There's a lot of experience from the NLC. We've got Harbour and Rusty Sniper, who've been around for a long time. But Hybraj comes over from Natives. He and Leah Lacargo are two. They were both on Natives playing in the Aurora Cup. They come over here to Lightside. And you know, jungle support synergy is quite important. So this team will already have that advantage over the others. And Rusty Sniper is always someone that you've got to look at, right? I said it in that little video there, but he's such a good bot laner, always giving you a chance to win games. He can hard carry your games as well. So I could just never count him out, man. He's such a quality player.
I think people are sleeping on LLS. I know there's a lot of hype towards other teams, but LLS is looking extremely good. And for those of you who were able to peek at scrims, they've been getting some good results. But with that in mind, what about Verdant, Solari, before we move on to NORD?
Verdant gotta be your favorite team, Artyom, right? Because they have two, not one, but two Portuguese guys on the roster.
There you go! That's how it works!
And I feel like Puppeteer, I'm focusing a lot on the top laners, but I also see Puppeteer is such an interesting case here because he's coming into NLC straight from Arozzi from the Greek League, and he has been looking so promising in there and wherever he's been playing before. If you've been following EMEA Masters, you also know just how explosive for top laner he can be. I feel like Verdant have such a good pickup in him in their roster. And of course, the second Portuguese, the Obstinados, if I pronounce that correctly.
Yeah.
He has... Actually, I didn't expect that. But he, along with No Name, has been playing in the NLC, right? Already. So it's like a return of the guys.
It's interesting that we have two Portuguese players on this roster, and none of them are called Ronaldo. Yes.
Actually, that's a big mistake.
Can I just say as well about this team? That eyebrow game is strong.
It's
yeah.
the
look
Portuguese,
at that.
you know? Look at that.
Look at
everyone.
that, dude. It's good, and No Name's British. He's like the only British guy I think here in NLC that isn't Kasing, right? So yeah, I'm excited to see how they perform for sure.
With the eyebrows, I love it.
With the eyebrows as well.
We saved NORD and Los Ratones towards the end specifically because they're going to be playing on the first game of today. So this is going to be a best of one. I know it's fearless, but it's only one game, so it's not going to be affected by it.
Yeah.
And look at these rosters. This is looking extremely interesting, and I'm going to give you a little bit of time to debate about both rosters and how they're going to clash against each other. But I had an interview with Michael from NORD Esports, and he was saying that the way he wants to approach the split and with NORD itself is the gentleman roster, the gentleman team. They're going to bring up the class. For Los Ratones, you look at that and you see a lot of experience, you see a lot of knowledge and skill, and you have the boss. I think boss is like above, so that's why I saved them for the last part of it. So how are they going to clash against each other, and how big are these teams?
I mean, I think for starters, like if you just look at, we'll start with NORD first, right? Like as a squad, there's so much experience at the top flight with these guys. Like it's insane. Even the members that are potentially not haven't stuck around as long in the LEC have a surprising amount of experience. Like bot lane, like Xmati and Treats, right? And Treats even spent time over in NA. He was coaching Dig most recently too. There's a whole abundance of experience there, and arguably their least experienced player, which will be No Name in the mid lane. This guy's been dominating regional leagues, EU Masters since the dawn of time, since they've been a thing, right? He's always been problematic for his opponents there. Like he's a crazy good mid laner, great carry mid laner as well, and I just think they have so many threats on their team. Considering they're not Ratones or Ruddy, which are getting a lot of the hype coming into NLC, NORD demands some respect, bro. They really do.
Yeah.
Like, this is a solid lineup, and I think this might just be like the two best teams that we see here in the entire NLC, and we're seeing them right now in game number 1.
First game of all. That is so powerful. Los Ratones, Solari. Los Ratones.
I mean, they have the current world champion on their roster. What else can you say about them? This is such an interesting roster, though, because if you think about it, the idea that Cadril said when they were combining the team together was that they are taking more experienced players and combining them with the rookies so that the team can kind of grow throughout the tournament and later on as they continue hopefully playing with the same roster. But they were talking about Veda as their rookie, so their jungler as their rookie. But if you actually look at him, he's not a rookie at all because he has been been playing in the Baltics region before it got merged with Ultraliga. Rest in peace, Ultraliga. He has been also a part of that, playing just very well in solo queue by himself, because last year in July, I believe, he has reached top 1 of solo queue on EU West. This guy is insane. He has some professional experience. I think he doesn't have a lot of it, and that's where people like Reckless, for example, have, of course, massive competitive experience, are coming in to help him and the rest of the team out.
Yeah, there's not a single name on that team that doesn't perform. Velja on the jungle, I've been watching him recently, like taking a lot of attention towards that member. He's one of the only members that I didn't follow previously. And when I started watching him, like, nah, this guy knows what he's doing. His Nidalee is just absurd. His Karner as well. Like Viego, Vi, Jarvan, you name it. It's ridiculous, the champion pool that he has. And you brought like a specific topic that I love. Like they have a world champion, Reckless. But also, they're the ones who defeated the world champions with Reckless in Paris. So it's Los Ratones. And we jump into Champion Select out of the blue. There we go. This is going to start. Where should we be focusing? Foxtrot and Solari, guide me. Because I know this Wukong on the hands of Velja is way too powerful.
Shouldn't we focus a little bit on the top lane though? Because we have an insane matchup there. Yeah, we have Varus versus Vizichati. These two players, I am honestly looking forward so much to see how they're going to be playing against each other. You gotta remember though that Los Ratones so far have had like 80% win rate in their scrims against other teams. Scrims don't always, as we've seen with the Chudu example, rotate well into the actual experience, but it's promising either way.
Definitely. We're getting a lot of bans coming through here already towards, this Gragas is a classic top lane against Baus as well. He's been absolutely solid on that. But there's so many picks. There's so many picks right now. And this being quite early on in the season as well, right? Like we can look towards the LCK and LPL, which have already started up, and we can kind of see what's going on. The meta's not massively different to what we saw from the end of 2024. But still, I feel like at this point, when you're in the NLC and you've got the lineups that you're seeing here, a lot of what you want to ban is comfort, right? And this is it, right? I always feel as well, a team which has a jungler that can put his team on his back and carry is a team that is so hard to draft against, because a lot of times junglers feel a more supportive role, a role where you just pick a champion that facilitates your team, like Vi. Or then when you're playing versus Velia, this guy will, as you mentioned, Archer, whip out the Nidalee and 1v9 and completely just bring down the thunder. Like, it's so hard to play against. But we got some pretty locked in here with the Corki being responded by Varus and Vi for NORD.
I like this because Varus is so important on the meta right now, and I heard them talk about the Varus itself. Los Ratones were talking about the Varus and the importance of it. They bring in the Corki that can be a flex for Nemesis and Crowny. It's interesting, and they let the Vi go as well, so might as well pick some more lock-in on the mid lane for no way, so the Vi and the mid lane can work. But with the Galio, that can be a flex because of the existence of Baus. This is interesting. They have a double flex.
Have a lot of flex,
Galio is a flex for Ratones as well. Baus has played it top, and Nemesis plays it mid. So Jarvan and Galio here, disgusting combo, and they've still got a lot of flexibility here in the draft.
Yeah, they're having a lot of their own lockdown as well, because as well as NORD can start and facilitate the fights with the combo of Varus plus Vi and have really good backline access, so do Los Ratones right now, which means the team fights are going to be explosive, especially now if we're adding Victor to the equation and we're talking about the duo of Vi plus a strong mid laner. Victor is a very consistent mid laner that you can work around as a jungler in the early game.
Second phase of bans. Tell me, Fox. I know there's something
just a
in
lot
your
of
mind.
range, a lot of range here coming through from NORD, which I think is important, right? Like, you don't want to get close to someone like Galio, Jarvan. That's really tough. Depending on Varus's build, obviously, like if you do more of that on-hit build, you're lower range, but lethality, you can have more range. But like Victor with his lasers and all that stuff it's all good stuff here for NORD to kind of be able to play a little bit safe. And I'm thinking they're a bit wary here of the powerful engage that Ratones have picked up for themselves. So we'll see how that develops here and how that continues. And I think the support picks right now are actually going to be really critical. Right? Like both these supports here from both teams. Like, do you pick up some more hard engage if you are Ratones? And I was going to say for NORD, do you dedicate a little bit more to disengage? Which for we see this ban here from Ratones, like if you get rid of the Renata Glass, like that is a very good disengage style champ, right? So we're seeing it. Both these teams know, they understand the assignment, they know what's going on, and they don't want the other team to get that wombo combo.
Yeah,
I was
we don't
expecting
want-
this Rakan for
Yeah,
Hercules.
exactly. Because he has been playing it a lot, and it is exactly
So
the champion that
good.
would suit so well right now into what Los Ratones have been drafting so far, adding a lot more hard engage into the composition. There still are some options available though for Reckless if they still want to go into that option. So something like Rel or Leona, for example, with a bit more tankiness to survive the initial engage would look really nice here too.
Or even the Alistar, you take away the Braum, so
Yeah.
it allows Alistar to go in, be unstoppable when he uses his ultimate, and even tank a little bit more damage. That's a triple front line, allowing someone else to bring more damage. I know this Akali is being removed because they still have the idea that this Gali could go top, could go mid. They're not aware of it. Oh, this is not a champion that Baus likes to play against, but there you go. It's gonna be
Who
Cassandra.
likes to play against Cassandra Archer?
No
Name
one.
one.
Nobody.
No one
Name
likes
one.
Cassandra.
Exactly.
The existence of the champion. I mean,
Disgusting.
Arcane should have been about him, not about Victor. You know.
Yeah.
Honestly, yeah. But this just suits so well into Vizichachi's hands because
Do
Vizichachi
it.
historically has been such a consistent weak side on the top lane that you know you can rely on. But please
Do
tell
it.
me this Cho'Gath is gonna be picked.
He said it. It's
said
competitive
it.
ready. He said it. There's a
Yes,
video
it
of
is
him.
Alright.
ready.
Shut
Alright.
up. He's gonna nom nom.
All right. Yeah. Well, that's going top lane. That's Baus right there. That's Baus's
That's
Cho'Gath.
Baus. That's
Yeah,
Baus.
for sure. Cool. A lot of
Green
push and
now.
pressure there for top. Yeah, this is it. You got endless sustain as well with the Cho'Gath passive, and you can just push Cassandra in. You should have pro there too. You can already see like we want to pick something aggressive bot side because you really want a lane to play around. If you're Velia, you don't have that right now. Like you can't really play into Galio versus Victor. I don't think you ever want to go. I mean, come on. When does Baus ever get jungle attention from his own team? Like, that's not going to happen. So, you just want to sit bot, right? Like, you got Corki Rel. I think this is, you got the option there to go aggressive. You got some CC. And I would imagine Treats wants to pick something that can disengage. It can chill out a little bit here. Your options are a tad limited, obviously, with these bans. But, you know, you can just go back to something very simple with that point and click headbutt. Keep yourself safe.
Well, I like this. I'm in love with both compositions, and we've seen them battle on one of those scrims. It's completely public, so you can watch it and rewatch it. But now it's on to officials. Every game counts a lot because it's going to be part of your seeding as you move on to playoffs. So I'm going to make a question for both of you. Salari, Foxdrop, who's going to win it? I need the biscuit, and keep in mind that whoever wins at the end of the day will get a point, and by the end of the split, the analyst with most points will get something.
Oh, I get something. Well, since you
Yes,
put it that way, I mean, the
it's
stakes are
it's
so
present.
high.
It's a gift from me.
It could be anything. It could be anything.
be
So
a
I look
cookie.
forward to getting my mansion on Ferrari by predicting that
cookie.
NORD will win this one because I think that for Ratones you've got really one major threat, which is crowning on Corki. I don't really like the fact that, you know, aside from that, you're kind of lacking a little bit of your offensive threats.
Solari.
I see a point, Fox, and I kind of agree with you, but I'm still gonna go with Los Ratones in this one because I love the hyper aggressiveness that this draft is bringing in. They can control the neutral objectives so well, and with the changes to the bounty system, with the neutral objectives that they gotta take as early in the game as possible, and with J4 and a strong bot lane in their team, I feel like this is a very good grounds for success for them. So I'm going to go with Los Ratones.
Okay, it's split between the desk, but what about the casters? We're about to jump into the first game of the split for NLC, Arozzi NLC. Keep in mind, there's Atakan, there's Feats of Strength, and there's the boys back. It's Solari! No, Solari, it's Trouble! In hip brain! Hit it away! I had to. That's a mistake.
He's had too much coffee before the show, man. That guy is wired right now. Hello and welcome to the caster desk as we're getting ready to go into the first game of 2025 here at the NLC. And what a banger to open on, right? Like, we were talking quite a lot prior to the show starting, and we both kind of agreed that if there's a team in Group A that is going to take out Los Ratones, it probably is NORD. These guys are very stacked and very capable. So I'm curious of your thoughts now that we've seen the draft trouble on how you think this is going to go and, you know, where we're sitting at going into game number one.
First and foremost, I want to say thank you to everyone for tuning in. This is an incredible thing that's happening to the NLC. Hats off to every pro player that's coming to the NLC to bang heads with each other. And I agree with you. NORD, some people even have NORD #1 in this particular group over Los Ratones. If you look at the people that are playing there, Chachi with so much experience. Treats has been a jungler, a support, He's gone over to coach in NA. He's come back. He's playing again. Xmati has been around the block for the entire time. And like, you've also got Santorin and No Way. You've got many pro players, like actual pro players who have been in the scene for so long, going up against some of the best Mr. Rat himself has accumulated for Los Ratones on the other side. Now, I want to jump into the draft with you a little bit because we were both discussing it a little bit backstage, and we realized that Los Ratones are pretty much like the Three Musketeers, all for one kind of thing. If Brownie dies on that Corki, it's very little damage. But the if he dies is huge because he's got 4 tanks in front of him.
He does have 4 tanks in front of him. I do worry about the Vi. I feel like, you know, the ability just to press R and then slide into the backline. The question is then can you get through the tanks to the Corki on the backline? If he holds his Valkyrie for once the Vi lands, he can then put some space between him and then Vi and then basically encircle a Vi in the middle of your team. But I do worry that, you know, there's a lot of range on the side of NORD. They have that kind of guaranteed engage on the 1 damage dealer that is going to be on this Corki. So, yeah, you do have your concerns going in off the back of that. But if Los Ratones can execute on what they're looking to do as a team here, where, you know, you've got the ability for Galio to kind of impact the side lanes as they please. You know, once the level 6 comes, you can go top, you can go bot and turn the tides of a fight that's going on there. You have that kind of big team fight you've got put together with the Jarvan being the major engage, getting the Cataclysm in to the grand entrance from the Galio, and then providing you can peel for that Corki. This game is going to be very hard for NORD, but I don't think they're out of options. They've got my favorite ADC in the tournament. Full stop. Xmati. No,
right.
Xmati, not
I
the
thought you were talking about champions for a second, man.
No.
Hey,
My favorite
we can't
ADC
have
in the
players.
Oh, I do. He's from my hometown. I have to. We have a little pause, so I can give you a little bit of a story on why I feel guilty, and I have to like Xmati. So we're both from Guildford. Yeah, go for it. We're both from Guildford in England. He went to the posh school in Guildford, like the really I wasn't either rich or smart enough to get into this school. Xmati apparently was
clearly smarter than you.
He's definitely smarter than me. I didn't go.
And
I wasn't
better at League. Like, is that a self roast that you're doing right now, or?
I mean, yeah. I mean, look at him and look at me. I haven't played in the LFL.
Or
but you know, all I'm saying, or the LEC. All I'm saying is, kids from my school used to throw rocks at kids from Xmati schools. So I there's a little bit of guilt there. I never would have thrown a rock at Xmati though, because I'm significantly older than him, so we were not in school around the same time. But I did throw rocks at his peers, so that's a little bit of an insight on why I'm guilt tripped into liking Xmati so much. Also, he's really bloody good at the game.
Well, I'm glad you finished this whole story with, hey, you know why I've been talking about throwing rocks, which do not throw rocks at people, please.
They're only little ones, like pebbles. They weren't like, I wasn't throwing like a boulder.
They can only blind you, it's fine. It's like, you'll be fine. They'll only blind you.
Below the shirt.
Let's go back, maybe, to a guy who likes creating rocks, such as the Jarvan. Valley is going to be piloting this game. I am very worried for both of these junglers, particularly on the side of Santorin piloting the Vi. Vi is one of those... Okay. I call it vulnerable Vi or solo Vi. When Vi doesn't have a buddy to jump into the backline with, to follow through, it becomes a little bit dangerous, especially if your early game plays don't go well. And you're playing against another early game champion, which is the Jarvan. That's why I want to keep our attention in the jungle for at least the very early stages of the game.
Yeah, absolutely. That jungle mid synergy is something that we've talked about for a long time in League of Legends now, but it is a major factor in what can kind of turn these early skirmishes. Like you said, with that Jarvan and the Galio, there's a very real kind of synergy between the two in the way that both their ults sync up, but also their six fights sync up with their ability to kind of lock down and CC someone. Or on the other hand, the Victor, you know, he's going to come and offer a lot of damage. Victor's damage is no joke, but you don't really have that kind of like initial follow-up and that kind of chain CC that Los Ratones have put together for themselves. But just defensive lines across the board. No one going for any early cheesy first bloods to get those feat of strengths snowballing in their favor. The boss is forced back. Not going to get... I thought Vizicachi was going to try and be a menace, but he's not.
We do have pretty much scaling on both teams. You've got Dogots, something what these kind of champions want to do towards that late game. They want to be that front line for the teams. Los Ratones, I really like the fact that you've got a lot of peel, but you do have a bunch of engage opportunities as well. Reckless on the Rel, you've got Velia onto this Java, and you've got the backup from Nemesis onto this Galio. You've got backup for your side lanes as well. I mean, we might have the Messi of League in NLC, in our league, but he's a little bit susceptible to dying sometimes, just here and there. It's not a reoccurring effect. So Nemesis right here does have the tools, if you will, sort of support on a side lane, whether it is Crowny that's in danger or Baus that's in danger towards the top side of the map. You do have that with level 6 onto the Galio to be able to be on an instant onto the side.
Yeah, absolutely. Nemesis getting heavily bullied, though, early by here on No Ways Victor. We did actually talk a little bit about, well, we didn't talk, but on air, but we talked privately about how No Ways champ pool is pretty much the Corki and the Victor. The Victor being his most played.
Victor guy.
He is the Victor guy. It's his most played champion ever in professional play. The Corki is his highest win rate, so it was a really big denial there from Los Ratones to pick that up, and definitely seemed like a pretty well thought out plan by them going into this one, but they did give that Victor up, so Nemesis early going to be feeling the brunt of that, but Hollow Radiance should be coming in fairly soon, and once you get that, or at least the Spectre's Cow, kind of be able to handle that lane a little bit better.
See Nemesis as well, teleporting back to lane. And if you're wondering, hey, why is this guy traveling? Why can I see the porter traveling through the rift? These are the new teleport changes. Teleport is much slower right now, so... Oh, hold on a minute. Reckless, loot too deep.
Reckless going very low, and there it is. He's burning down. They don't find the kill. Crowny now turns it onto Treats. X-Maddie doesn't really have much of a backup, and Treats is flashless. First blood to Crowny.
World champion appearance right there from Reckless. Great engage, goes a little bit too deep. The unmount, though, comes through from Rel with the shield open up. Treats overextends just slightly, and look at that tiny Velia already bot lane.
X-Maddie, he's got cleanse, but he hasn't got that flash, and I don't think he's going to be able to do much about this. Velia secures Crowny his second kill, and that feed and protect the Corki already going well for Los Ratones.
Hey, we said from the beginning, all eggs are gonna be into Crowny's basket, and right now, 4 minutes in, 2 kills already onto this Corki is going to be extremely strong, especially when we're talking about bits of strength, right? Which we haven't necessarily talked about a lot. This is a new addition to League of Legends. If you haven't watched any league internationally, there's basically 3 terms that you have to complete 2 out of to get extra goodies. So right now, it would be First Blood, First Tower, and 2 out of 3 neutral objectives. We're talking 3 Void Grubs, we're talking Dragon, we're talking Baron, we're talking Atakan. Any neutral objective that spawns on the map and is taken by a team, this will count towards that 3rd one. So far, Los Ratones, obviously with the First Blood, they have already won for themselves, and they're looking to possibly complete that.
Yeah, absolutely. Looks like a bit of proxy farming coming in. No surprises really from this particular player. Yeah. It took us 5 minutes to see him go in proxy. But Treat's just done a little bit of information gathering. He's going deeper. Oh no, this is bad for him. I think he's in danger. You're not on Scion anymore, buddy. In comes Santorin, looking for the knock-up, able to make the connection. Boss just going to make sure he catches most of this wave. Actually, doing a fair amount of damage. He has 6. I don't know if he's going to have enough. Eats a minion. Oh, no, he doesn't. I thought he ate a minion there. Did eat a minion on the way out, just to make sure he cleared the wave. It's what he does. It's successful, and ultimately, it's actually good for his team, because Velia now going to be able to turn their attention towards this Hexset Drake before the grubs have spawned. And this means Los Ratones, they're 2 out of 3 if they can get these grubs.
This is the Bowsy special right there. You actually sacrifice, but you had already pre-pushed the wave, which means then Vizichachi now has to push another one if he wants to crash that new incoming wave. But that one is the 4th wave of the game, and it has a cannon. You remember from previous ones, now the first cannon minion pops up in the 4th wave on the rift. So that was greatly calculated, and now what Los Ratones have done, they've taken the Dragon, they're transitioning towards top lane, they've got the Corki that's fed towards the top side of the map as well, and they can actually, all they need to do is just steal 1.
They haven't been able to do that yet, but the smite comes down, so Santorin not going to be able to deal with this. 2 grubs in the pocket of him, and yeah, if you don't get all 3 grubs, it doesn't count towards your feat of strength. marker, so definitely needs to be getting done as Reckless. He's found himself Santorin inside the jungle. Velia misses the flag and drag. I do see a gank happening in the bot lane, though, onto the boss. So he's getting himself forced away, chasing in, gets the knock up to cancel X-Maddie's arrow, and he's just going to carry on. He just doesn't care. He's just going to proxy even more. Grab this way for himself. Santorin is making his way over. Should be able to pick this kill up, but he's cleared the wave. He's done his job, and I mean, this is so textbook, the boss, but it's just working for him.
This is Bowser for you. Also, Chachi right here. He's feeling pretty safe, right? Sante underneath the tower. Even though the resistances have been lowered from the towers, this top lane used to be 45 before this patch. It means that Los Ratones is possibly looking for that first tower right here. Chachi onto this Cassante is undiveable. You saw that the entirety of Los Ratones was towards the top side of the map. Had also invaded. Is actually kind of impossible to dive towards the Cassante. But he's gonna stay safe. He's gonna farm away. See, Reckless and Crown are gonna be chipping away on that top lane tower. Again, feats of strength is huge for any team. You get the extra boots, you get the extra goodies on your boots as well, depending on which ones you have chosen. So it is a pretty huge extra enhancement, if you will, for the game.
Yeah, absolutely. 2-2 the kills right now. But where that gold is probably the big difference maker here. 2 kills onto Crowny versus 2 kills onto Santorin. Is able to catch the wave. Baus gets himself caught out briefly here for a second as they're going to catch him with the stun. Looks for the knock up onto X-Maddie. Not going to be able to find it. Santorin makes his way in. Throws down the ultimate. And the Baus finds himself the knock up, but X-Maddie will secure the kill. Now we're going to see Crowny actually potentially getting himself chunked out pretty heavily here by Vizichachi, but Crowny not under any real threat yet.
Alright, that is a little bit problematic right there with Baus dying. That means Velia has to be very careful taking his red buff. Got the entirety of bot lane pressuring from the bot side from NORD. Got Santorin already invading, taking the grabs away. Reed is going to come in and possibly set some vision a little bit deeper. And also, when this happens, you usually want to chop the lane in half, especially if you're thinking that the bot lane will be walking down towards that bot. It could potentially stop them from getting to the tower, chip that further. It's not going to be the case. The timer is not going to be quite that much. But right now, Bowsy has given away 3 deaths, and very importantly, we mentioned how that fight falls behind as a solo diver from the side of NORD. It's going to be really tough. So far, 2-0 for Santorin. He's been able to grab 64 CS back towards his top side of the map. And if he's able to finish his first item before that Jarvan, it's going to be a huge success in terms of how successful and how strong this fight will be in the arena.
Yeah, absolutely. It's going to be a pretty big deal off this one. As you can see, Los Ratones were looking at maybe pulling something down in that wave, but it's Maddie just trying to catch this wave underneath his tower. Actually being pretty heavily harassed here by Biles. It's Crowny going to quite happily pick himself up some plates on the top side. He may even be able to get that turret, and that would be the first feat of strength for them as well, or their last feat of strength that they needed, as the Biles finds himself caught out. X-Maddie catches him, they get the knockback, and that is a dead Cho'Gath. Another kill in the pocket of X-Maddie, his second of the game. He's slowly scaling up here on this Varus. Santorin. Yeah, they're looking for the fight. They're going to teleport in. Vizichachi. Treats finds the knock up onto 1. They get himself a Magnet Storm. In comes the Galio. Only hits onto 1, but Santorin goes down. Crowny is not actually going to get the shutdown as the Ignite tick from Reckless will be able to get it. As Los Ratones take themselves 2 kills.
And feats of strength completed as well. Now Chachi gonna have to run. I mean, he's pretty tanky, but there's 4 members of Los Ratones around, so he's not gonna go down slowly or quietly, but he's eventually going to go down.
I don't know. Oh, the flash into the blast cone from Nemesis is going to stop him from going for the escape. He's building up those knockups, but Reckless finds the CC necessary, and Nemesis takes the kill. That should be another couple of grubs over to Los Ratones as well off the back of that one. As Maddie, he's just been stuck trying to deal with Viles, and he's down massively in levels to this guy, so he can't really do much. Even though the guy's 0-4, he's actually up in farm over his lane opponent, and he's keeping the ADC locked under tower. They can't do anything.
Yeah, it's going to be extremely obnoxious to deal with this Cho'Gath later on as well. All the stats, all the HP. The second that Vi goes in, 1 hour is pretty much going to chomp her in half as well. So the further this game goes. Oh my god, that's solo?
Crowned Jet just solo, no way. Brutal.
Oh, 4, 0, and 2. 3 force already completed. Probably has a second item over in base as well. We'll see it right now. Crown is pressing B. That's the bar in base. Is it going to be the case? The mana mune already completed. It's not going to be.
Tell me the upgraded Swifties aren't broken. Look how many Swifties these guys are rocking. Here's the replay. Let's see what happens. He just kills him. Yep.
Wow. That's a fed cork.
That's a very fed corky.
Also, I just wanted to mention here that you don't have to do all 3 feats of strength if you don't want to. Los Ratones did, because they took the second Void Grub spawn and they have 1 dragon, so they're pretty much 3 out of 3.
Yeah, they are set up. See, Bork now finished onto X Maddie. Got the Blackfire Torch here on No Way. So he's going to be able to grab himself a little rose. Bit of XP to his team. Yeah, just kind of looking at item spikes right now. It's most people are on that first item, apart from our top laners, which are pretty sad. I'm going to see Nemesis looking to engage onto Vizichachi, but he's really able to do too much. Just gets the taunt off, and Chachi's able to escape.
The thing is, Los Ratones have been deviating attention towards the top side of the map, right? House is 0 and 4, but look at the gold. Pretty damn even. Level 10 to level 10, 200 gold difference, swinging towards Baus over on the top side of the map, and in return you get a super fed 80 carry, 2,000 gold up on Xmati on that Baus, Trinity was completed, Manamine very close to as well, and I think it's great because at the end of the day, Jogga will be your tank that you're looking for. As Tiny gets a little bit chunked walking inside this river.
I thought Santorum was going to stop the red buff, the blue buff, and move over, but he didn't. He's just going to get himself some ideas of what's going on, clear out some of the vision. No dragon spawning up yet, so it's just going to be a little bit of a chill one on that front, as NORD going to get forced to back off, and ultimately massive gold lead starting to accrue here for Los Ratones. They are significantly far ahead, and I mean, it's a 2k lead between the ADCs. There's a 1,300 lead between the supports as well. You can tell that all of the action's been happening on the bot lane. That in turn means that we probably will see Akatan. I can never say his name. Atakan? There's too many A's.
Towards the bot side of the map, yeah. And actually, Reckless can upgrade his boots if he wants to. They have the feats of strength. He's got his 2 items completed, so that 1.3k over treats is going to come into fruition when he can actually upgrade his boots, because he does have the 2 items. The support item does count towards the 2-item completion as well. And as you can see, not only Baus is not falling behind, he's 1 level ahead over in that top lane match.
He is handling it so well. And I mean, like, what would you expect? You expect him to go negative KDA, up in gold. That is typically how he plays the game. But yes, Atakan will be spawning up fairly soon. It spawns where the most action has been, which has been the bot lane, funnily enough. Now, Baus finds himself caught out here by Treats. Xmati's making his way over. Santorin's in the area. They're just going to full send it. They've already used Vizichachi's ultimate. Didn't have to burn any others, which is crucial, because they're going to need that for when our boss spawns up. As Crowny just going to get a laser beam to the face and decide he wants to back off and maybe spend some gold in a second.
But here's the thing, right? Baus dies right there. A big tower towards the bottom of the map.
Yeah.
They're pushing that mid lane tower. They have to have 4 members of NORD to catch Baus at this point, to then take him down and benefit from 1 kill, whilst the entirety of Los Ratones is setting down wards. Look at the bot lane side of Santorin's jungle. Is fully lit up with blue wards from the side of Los Ratones. They had that covered, they pushed that bot lane tower, and they mainly want to retain that control towards the bot side of the map, because in about 4 minutes time, in a few seconds, Atakan is going to be spawning. The next dragon is coming up in 40 seconds, so you definitely want to be having set up that vision towards the bot side of the map.
Yeah, absolutely. And you can see NORD already looking to get some wrestle of control back into here. Baus doesn't have teleport where Vizichachi does. He will probably have to sacrifice a turret if he wants to teleport down to any shenanigans on the bot side of the map for Atakan. But it looks like Los Ratones, they're just going to go over, turn their attention towards this Herald right now, pick this one up for themselves, and then maybe look to see what they can get off the map after that.
Los Ratones right now have taken every single objective on the map, apart from 2 small grubs drought. Everything else has been extremely dominant. And right here, we're looking at them dipping into the bot side river. They have to refill. They can use that for a little bit of deviation over in the mid lane. Our mid lane tower is pretty low. It means that NORD is going to have to defend that if they don't want to go down. Here you go. You see Reckless popping down that rift trail. He's going to be charging in the tower. You have another wave that they can push in if they want to. Very, very low right now, that mid lane tower.
Oh, treats! Massive headbutt pole comes in. Immediately, Crownie gets jumped onto, but the Galio comes in to back him up. X-Matty's burning down, and Crownie's able to secure the kill. Crownie's still low. No way looking for the kill. What? Chaos Storm is not going to do enough. Crownie finds the double kill as Velia being run down by Vizicachi, as now NORD falling apart at the seams. Reckless jumps into Vizicachi's pocket, finds the knock-off onto him. They have kind of run out of damage dealers, though. Nemesis misses the Justice Punch. Ultimately, Los Ratones come out on top of that play. Beautiful headbutt pole to start, but it went so wrong, so quick.
How in the world is Crownie alive? I really need to see the replay again. Thank you so much, observers, because I feel like they left him for dead. They were expecting no way to just delete him, and it just wasn't the case. Fantastic engage right here from Treats onto the main suspect, which is going to be Crownie this entire game. The lock-in from Velia onto Santorin. No way walks up, and he thinks that the Chaos Storm is going to be the last peak needed to kill Crownie. It's not going to be the case. Crownie survives. Velia gives up his life to protect his AD carry. And that was a 4 versus 5. House was never there for this fight. Huge win for Los Ratones.
Nemesis's ultimate gave a magic shield to Crownie, which ate the Q auto and E from No Way. The E was the thing that literally took the shield off, but he basically took no damage from the Victor. And then the Chaos Storm actually didn't initially hit. If he'd hit it initially, second tick would have killed Crownie. But Crownie able to hold fast there. Really, really nice play there from the side of Los Ratones to turn a 4v5 like that around. And Baus.
Honestly, wish I would have seen a little bit more of that from NORD.
Yeah.
I've been following Treats for a very long time. We used to work together back when he was playing SK Gaming on the LEC. He was literally candidate for MVP of the split on this Alistar. He had a fantastic year as a support. I think he was literally just about runner-up. And these engages are what made him that good. These engages are what almost gave him that MVP. And I feel like I just needed to see a little bit more from that. I feel like when you've got Baus in your team, a lot of teams will fall victims to the, oh, it's Baus, let's get our free kill, let's get our free kill. And I feel like NORD sacrificed so much of their map right now, and then ended up with Crownie being 6-0 and 3. You've got the upgraded boots on him, you've got almost 3 items in the inventory, and Ratones are running a comp that is specifically curated to help him stay alive throughout all these team fights. And I feel like NORD just about missed the timing to take him down. Everyone's going to be uber tanky in front. I don't think the virus will be able to pierce through the Cho'Gath and that Rel. So we'll see if NORD can somehow miraculously find Crownie now, but he doesn't have any summoners available and attack in this point.
Yeah, I don't think they're really going to be able to go for any contest here. I mean, ultimates are up and available, but no teleports, so NORD going to have to walk through a very, very heavily warded area. Nemesis going to do his best to play zoning, as Treats is going to have to be the one to walk forwards, but they go in immediately onto Santorin, sorry. He goes down, Jungler's dead, the smite option is gone here for NORD, and yeah, Atakan, going to be a freebie here for the side of Los Ratones. Able to pick it up. I can never tell which one it is just by like its animations. I know, because it's red and it's a black one, isn't it?
It's a red one and a black one.
I still can't tell them apart. I don't know which one's which.
I was going to wait for you to see that.
Black, I believe the black one's the revive, right? Red one is objective.
The black one's the petals.
Petals, yeah. But you also get extra objective. Wait,
yes,
what?
And the red one is the revive that we're seeing right now.
Oh, you're right.
Overextended.
You are very right. Baus finds himself in danger. Reckless. He gives 100 gold over, pings back to base, and he's out of there. Well, I now learned which Atakan's which.
A little questionable right here from Ratones. I feel like they were controlling the map so well. It was a big whoopsie from NORD to try and walk up into an objective where their entire jungle was pretty much dark, pitch black, you couldn't see anything. They didn't have any access to the river, they didn't have any access to Atakan. Santorin ends up walking in, dying all alone. That's a 4v5 that NORD cannot really take what they are.
Baus?
And then I feel like Reckless and Baus overextending a little bit right there. Very characteristic from Baus, not so much very characteristic from Reckless right there. However, with the buff from Atakan being able to revive again, it won't be a problem. He'll just walk straight back from base. Maybe he just wanted a very fast reset right there whilst pushing in the wave. You can actually abuse the buff like that. Try and get quick resets while also pushing in that wave with Baus. And as you can see, 3-lane push coming in from Los Ratones right here. NORD have to attack.
Yeah, they don't even have Baron. They're going to send everything on to Baus. He gets himself knocked back, misses that knockup. In comes Veljet, finds himself the opening. X-Maddie free-firing away on that backline, but the knockout comes in to the Cataclysm on the backline. Maddie's bleeding out. Reckless is the one to secure the lockdown onto him. Double kill, triple kill over to Crownie. He may chase for more, but he's not going to be able to find it. 3 dead, 2 standing here for NORD, and I do not think they have what it takes to hold against Los Ratones in this first game of the season. As Nemesis, he's got the revive. He doesn't give a damn. No way. Just going to give him a quick reset. They're both going away with it. There they go. Quick withdraw. Back to base. Spend your dosh. Get back on the Rift.
Hey, might as well use that buff while you have it before it expires. Push all you can. All 3 towers right now in NORD's base that are guarding the inhibitors are pretty low HP. So 1 push is what it takes from Los Ratones. 1 ace, 3 kills, anything like that for Los Ratones to finish their first ever official game in the NLC. And again, NORD, I get invaded. This is Baus, but this is no Baus level 5. This is a Baus with revive on him from Atakan. He's so darn tanky. You've got Galio's shield coming on top. You've got Velia arriving just in time. He's so impossible to kill. And again, remember what we said. The Alistar will dive. The Vi will die. But that's all you've got. It's not enough to kill a Cho'Gath. Now Treats has to retreat. And Los Ratones again pressuring 2 lanes as a TP flank.
Yep, in comes Vizichachi. Velia just goes and flag and drags over the wall. He's fine.
Mouse.
He's in their base. Split pushes are the most infuriating thing to play against in League of Legends. And this man is probably one of the best split pushes there is. He has mastered the art of not playing with his team and just being a menace in the side lane. They are sending the whole team up to deal with him. He might be able to walk away. He's got Swifties. Santorin, I don't think you want to waste your ult here. He's going to commit it. No way he's making his way over. Laser beam comes in. Baus doesn't get stunned up, looks for that knock-up, is able to connect it onto Santorin. No way he's now continuing to fire away as the teleport's coming in. Nemesis making his way forward. 2-man taunt comes down. Baus! He takes out Santorin. In comes the Galio knock-up. Vizichachi's able to find himself the kill, but it has cost NORD everything. Crownie takes down No Way. Vizichachi now left on his lonesome as the last 4 will finish him up. Vizichachi tries to finish Crownie, but he's unable to do so. Crownie takes him down 10-0.
Huge fight win right here for Los Ratones. You see X-Maddie and Fritz trying the best they can to take something back on the map, but mid lane tier 1 is going to fall down for NORD. And as you can see, all the blue pings towards that Baron area, they're pinging the Baron. It's coming up super shortly again. You are using all your resources on Baus. By the time he's so close to dying, Nemesis teleports into the scene, uses the taunt first, second the ultimate for the extra defenses and the shield. And by that time, Reckless is there, Crown is there, the whole cavalry is there. Baus ends up going down, but at what cost? NORD lose.
Unbelievable. Unbelievable.
They just keep falling for it.
They keep using everything on Baus. Like, use it on Crownie. That's your only win condition. But they don't. And now, Los Ratones, they're going to start up this Baron. I mean, it's low. Treats has flashed over the wall, but he's on his lonesome for the moment. Laser beam comes in. Santorin can't quite find the steal. X-Maddie now trying to free fire away. Reckless finds the lockdown onto him. Crownie's in the pit, but it doesn't matter because he's going to be able to survive. Down goes X-Maddie. Down goes the next player. It is just kill after kill after kill for Los Ratones. Vizichachi is going to stand in front. He's able to dodge a lot of the crowd control, but Crownie should be able to finish him up if it's not going to be Reckless with the Q there. No Way, the only left standing, and he flashes over the wall to break away. Los Ratones starting off 20 kills in 26 minutes. An absolutely phenomenal game 1 of the split to them. This team are looking very, very strong right now.
That is the first official game from Los Ratones. They had a very formidable opponent. number 2 in paper team from NORD, but they're looking here to finish that first official game for Los Ratones with a W.
They can't even kill Bowles at the end. He was a menace, honestly. I feel like this is going to be one of those things where for the first week or two, people are really going to struggle with his playstyle because it's super unconventional. Like, anyone who knows him, which I'd be surprised if you don't by this point, knows of his Scion and the kind of side lane pressure that he applies. And it's the inting style, isn't it? Where it's a tactical int to get an advantage for your team. I feel like a lot of coaches are now going to have to start teaching their teams how to handle this, because NORD, they crumbled. Like they were constantly investing too much into locking him down, chasing after the kill, and his team would just go take everything else off the board. Like Los Ratones just got whatever they wanted.
I feel like it's a different case when it's solo queue, right? Because I've asked a bunch of pro players and I'm like, hey guys, if you have Baus on your team in Challenger, like how do you deal with it? You know, like the jungler could get fed and then you're going to have a lot of trouble. But at the end of the day, I feel like it's how the team actually uses that pressure he creates to take over the map. And I feel like Los Ratones were always taking some sort of objective on the other side, while Baus actually had already pre-pushed the wave before he died. So there was nothing to be lost on the top side.
Yeah, absolutely. Terrific start to the season there for Los Ratones, but we still have more games coming up today. So we're going to throw ourselves to a quick break, and then we'll be back with our analyst desk before we jump into game number 2. See you in a moment.